Hi Gemini, welcome. So Gemini, this is going to be a reading. I'm going to start with the spiritual general messages, and then we're going to go into the love you versus them reading. And my readings are timeless, so I just trust that whenever you find this, that's when you're meant to hear it. So let's get into it, Gemini. You have the card of Leo here. Some of you connecting with a Leo, and or may have that in your chart, and or it's just the overall influencing vibes, which is really interesting because like literally right before I was recording this, I kept wanting to sing out loud the song by Rihanna, Love on the Brain. So for some of you, you've got maybe love on the brain, or somebody is thinking about you in that way. Because this card does represent expression and creativity, but it is also highlighting love and being in love, and your heart chakra can be a very attractive, energy, very confident energy as well. Just be careful, because sometimes this can also go the other way. It can be very prideful, very egotistical, and a little bit excessive. So, everything in balance, right? Everything in moderation is what my mother would always say. Anyways, Gemini, let's get deeper into it and see what else you have coming through. You have the card of existence and totality. And what was that card that just flipped there? Hello. And the card of patience and breakthrough. So I love this. To me, this card of existence is quite literally like, questioning your existence, thinking outside of the everyday norm. It's a very spiritual, like existential energy. And then the card of totality next to it, which is like seeing the big picture, seeing how everything is interwoven and interconnected, and kind of like lining up the dots, okay? Then you have the card of patience and breakthrough, which I love. So patience to me is very similar to Empress energy in traditional tarot. So it is, yes, about patience, but it is also a very like nurturing, caring, warm vibe. It also talks about things in gestation, right? Coming to fruition. So be patient. It does also talk about fertility for my feminine Geminis that may be interested in that. And then you have the card of breakthrough. So quite literally, whatever you've been waiting on, there's about to be a breakthrough in it, Gemini. And it's going to help you connect the dots, which I think is fantastic. So let's go a little bit deeper and see what else we have coming through for my Gemini. What else does Gemini need to know? Let's see, what else does Gemini need to know? What's that song again? What she says, baby, you got me, let go. What you want from me? Sorry. Okay. Now you have the card of Justice, Ten of Swords, the Fool, and the Page of Cups. So Gemini, again, I feel like there's like a justice coming to a situation, or a balancing of maybe a karmic situation. The Ten of Swords to me is also about clearing out old karma, clearing out things that no longer serve us anymore. And it's right next to the Fool, which is a new beginning, and the Page, which is also a new beginning. So like your cards are literally talking about karma balancing itself out, and a chapter closing and a new one beginning. So if you have been waiting for a fresh start, or a new chapter of your life, or to turn the corner on something, I feel like this is your moment, Gemini. This is your breakthrough moment. And so they want you to be open, okay, to the many different ways that this could flow into your life. Sometimes change comes in unexpected ways. The breakthrough does remind me of like Tower energy, which is kind of unexpected vibes. But I feel like whatever's coming through, it is for your highest good, Gemini, and they want you to be very open to it. So, ooh, this is exciting. Like, let's see what else. What else does Gemini need to know? 7 of Cups, because I think you're going to have some decisions that you're going to need to make once this change comes through. And I feel this is happening relatively soon. They are highlighting Scorpio season, which we're in right now. But the timeline, of course, will be different for all of you. The World, the 5 of Wands, and the Hermit. So I do feel like, Gemini, there's kind of this indecisive energy showing up, okay? And yet the World is here to say, like, this is all going to make sense to you. This is all going to come together for you. Even though you may feel conflicted and need to go within, I feel like the right pathway is coming forward for my Geminis. But I also get a sense here, Gemini, that there may be other things going on that you're struggling with or feeling a bit conflicted about that may require for you to kind of do a deep dive or to go within and kind of ask yourself, like, how do I really feel about that? Which direction should I go with that? Because you have options, right? I feel like there's no wrong answer, so to speak. There's just which pathway would you enjoy the most, right? Like, which pathway do you want to go down? Which experience do you want to have the most, right? So let's see what else for Gemini. Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords. Dang it, I can't wait to get to your love reading, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. I also feel like your cards are like so to the point. You know, sometimes it takes me a minute to like see the full picture and, you know, when I'm doing a reading. But I feel like Gemini, for this reading in particular, it's just like blunt to the point. This is what it is. And I'm kind of digging that. So I also feel like for you, energetically, if you felt, you know, scattered or like this confusing energy that's showing up, I feel that dissipating and like clarity coming in, and it's like, boom, it makes sense. You don't second guess it. You know for certain, right? Like where you're headed and what to choose or who to choose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel an immense amount of clarity coming in for the Geminis that I'm reading for. I did want to clarify one card, and then I'm going to show you what else I got. What is the Nine of Wands, please? Yeah. So, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. This is quite literally love rushing in. Now, I'm picking this up as intimate love. So, you know, date nights with your partner, good conversation. If you're not partnered, this could be a new love interest that enters, I can't even speak, that enters the scene, or that you're speaking with, or a crush that you have, or whatever. And for a few of you, this could just be like a really good friend. But I feel this more in an intimate way, but take it as it's resonating. And then it kind of gives you something to think about, something to fantasize about, something to contemplate, right? The King of Cups is like getting right with himself, but I also got getting right with God, okay? It's a very spiritual energy. And it's interesting to me. It's also a very emotional and like love-fueled energy as well. But it's interesting to me that the Nine of Wands is here, which is kind of like an offstandish, skeptical vibe, like kind of have my guard up type of thing. And when I asked for clarification, I got the Six of Wands, which is the card of success and attention. So are you playing hard to get, Gemini? Or is somebody doing that to you? Like, this is like a hard to get type of vibe. Or maybe you're not even trying to play. You just really, you know, are hard to get to or to get a hold of or whatever. But that's like the first thing that popped into my mind. It's like something rushes in, right? I feel love rushing in. and then like a quiet contemplation about it, and then, you know, like a hard to get type of energy. Like I don't feel like you're like just like, oh yes, of course, you know, and like letting your guard down and opening up your arms to whoever or whatever this is that's rushing into your life. I feel kind of like a skeptical vibe around it. Like, do you deserve to be in my world? Do you deserve my attention? Like, you know, I don't just give my attention to anyone. So, I mean, in a way, like I kind of really love that energy. It's like being, what is the word I want? Discerning, right? Knowing your worth, being particular, not just going to give it up to everyone, right? Very demure, very classy, very cutesy. Sorry. I had to. Yeah, like that type of vibe. Anyways, my goodness. Well, I don't even know where to go with this reading. Like, I guess the choice is yours, because it's like also something that doesn't make sense to you now by the end of the year or the end of Scorpio season, which is coming up soon. Like, you're getting the big picture of it. Like, it's making sense. So they're saying, like, be patient. There's a breakthrough coming in. It could be related to this love rushing in or this connection I'm picking up on, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like there is, again, karma rebalancing itself here, and then like this new beginning or this change coming in right on the heels of it. So this seems to be a really exciting time for you, and I'm loving it. So let's see what the guidance has to say for my Geminis. Says, card number 5, my relationships are supposed to feel good. Your life is supposed to feel good to you. Before your birth, you knew that the primary component of your physical experience that would offer the greatest value for your personal and collective expansion and joy would be the relationships that you would experience with each other. It was your plan to relish the diversity of your relationships and to choose from the details that would make up your creations. And here you are. I think that's the perfect card for this reading, if you ask me. But, you know. All right, so we're going to leave it there for this part of the reading. Now I'm going to go much deeper into the you versus them love reading. Let me clear these cards real quick. I'll be right back. Stay right there. I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back. All right, now we're going to go deeper into the you versus them love reading. Again, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Also, you can reverse the roles if needed, and let's get into it. So you have the card of, I was going to say breakthrough, because I really thought that was the name of this, but it's actually the card of conditioning. But it reminds me of the breakthrough card, which you just got in the spiritual reading, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But let's see your person. What is their overall energy? Transformation. That's Tower energy to me, and the card of innocence. So kind of similar messages here to start us off than what I just picked up on. So for you, this is all about breaking through bondages, old conditioning of your mind, of your heart, of your beliefs. If you felt restricted in a relationship or in an area of your life, or just emotionally speaking, I feel a breakthrough around that. This person has the card of transformation and innocence. So this is like the death and rebirth card. It talks about endings, new beginnings, changes. And in the process, I feel like this person is kind of finding themselves again, like renewing themselves. Because it's showing up as a new beginning. So let's dig a little bit deeper and see. We are going to look at the past and what led up to the now. Then we are going to look at how you both perceive each other, how you feel underneath it all, and the most likely outcomes. So, recent past for Gemini. Recent past for my Geminis. Let's see. You have the card of Judgment, the card of the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. And I immediately got the song by Wilson Phillips, Release Me. You know, I know it's kind of cheesy. I get it. I've gotten the song so many times, but it's symbolic, okay? It's basically about like breaking the chains from the past or from something that really had a hold of you that maybe wasn't good for you, Gemini. And you can see, right, like this person is trying to release judgment, quite literally, or a bondage of some sort. And yet it's met with resistance, you know, worry, frustration, anxiety, and then kind of like this, I don't know where to go next type of vibe. So I feel like you've been struggling, you know, or at least in the past, there seems to be like an emotional struggle showing up here for you, you know, trying to let go of something that feels like it was plaguing you almost, and not really knowing what to do about it or where to turn next, okay? So let's see this person's recent past. This person's recent past, Two of Wands. Oh gosh, now I can't get that song on my head. You got no one to blame for your unhappiness. No, baby, you got yourself into your own mess. Ooh. Just letting your worries pass you by. Please don't click off. It used to be one of me and my sister's favorite songs to sing at the bus stop when we were kids, you know. I know every single word to that song. It's a goodie though. Anyways, okay, back to you. This person's recent past. The Magician, the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, so this person, I feel like, you know, had a decision to make or was at a crossroads in the recent past. Maybe also feeling a bit stuck. You know, they have two cards of kind of like standing in place right here. So it's stagnant energy, and yet the Magician in the middle. So I feel like this person was trying like hell to like manifest some movement or progress or change in a situation, and it just wasn't coming. And the reason that it wasn't coming is because their energy was split, meaning like they were desiring for something that they didn't believe was possible, or like was in contradiction to what they thought was possible. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, if you're desiring for, you know, $1 million, but you don't believe that someone like you could attain $1 million, then you have split energy. You have a desire that is not in alignment with your belief, and therefore it cannot manifest, right? The only things that manifest in your life are things you're in alignment with, meaning you desired it and you also believed it was possible. Okay, that's really the key that most people don't understand about, by the way. Consciously manifesting, you can't make yourself believe something you don't actually believe. The work is in the belief part, okay? Getting rid of limited beliefs. But anyways, that was the only thing that was preventing this person, honestly, from attaining something that they really wanted. They were getting in their own way with their own thoughts about it. Now, let's go into the now and see how you're perceiving each other in the now. How does Gemini perceive this person? What do they think about this person? Four of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. So I think a lot of you were kind of holding out for maybe a new beginning here, and then feeling drained at the same time, especially if, you know, it wasn't coming, or you weren't seeing evidence of something that you were kind of holding on to or holding out for. And yet the Knight of Cups is here, which is romance, which is love, which is action, you know, things actually happening, coming into play. I feel like when it comes to this person, what I'm getting mostly is when, like, I'm getting the word personal belongings. I don't know why. I don't know if somebody has somebody's personal belongings, or you're holding on to like a personal belonging of this person, or they, you, but take that if it resonates. Sorry, I couldn't get around that. But anyways, I'm getting a lot too about like taking things personal or holding something personal. Yeah. I feel like on one hand you're trying to like hold out and be hopeful or be open to, you know, understanding or loving this person, but at times I feel you don't have it to give yourself. Like there's something emotionally draining you as well, and or this person is, and yet you're open to love, I feel. So let's see this. How does this person perceive you? I still have that song playing in the back of my head. Tell me if you want to hear me sing the whole song. Any takers? You guys are probably like, yeah, right. Just stick to the cards, Dana. Okay, Queen of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. Yeah, who is holding on to somebody's personal belongings? Is it you? Is it them? Is it the both of you? There's something about that. And it showed up on both sides. And that's not the usual message I get from this card, but that's what I felt. And or I don't know if there's something personal to you, just like in general, that is a symbol or something that's meaningful to you, a personal belonging. I cannot get around that word. Anyways, yeah, I feel like, you know, this is showing up in this person's perception of you. The Queen of Cups is a very emotional, loving, intuitive, like spiritual energy, and it's next to the 8 of Pentacles, which is about dedication, you know, working hard towards something. And the 4 of Pentacles to me is like, oh, because it's meaningful. Like, I feel like this person is willing to put in the work because it is meaningful to them, and they feel very passionate about it or very motivated, Gemini, from a spiritual aspect, but also an emotional aspect when it comes to the connection. Now, of course, it could just be in general, this person is just a passionate, hardworking person. But again, since it's a you versus them, I'm going to make it about you. They too, you know, they hold on tight to what they know is theirs, quote unquote. And I say that because there's a possessiveness showing up as well. And I actually feel it on both sides, but take it or leave it. Could be you, could be them. But I am getting, you know, sometimes this card could talk about like also wanting to be the one in charge, the one in control. Can be very stubborn energy too. So yeah, let's go into the heart space and see, in your heart of hearts, how do you feel about this person, Gemini? You know, and I want to say, I don't know why I want to say this, like, maybe this person's a bit possessive, but maybe you want to be possessed. Ew. I don't know. And I also don't know why I felt the need to say that, but because most people would be like, ooh, that's a bad trait. But you know, sometimes there's a large group of people that would say they actually like their partner to be, you know, a little bossy. I don't know. Okay, 7 of Wands, the Emperor, the 2 of Cups, you know. To each their own. The 10 of Wands. Now this is interesting because this is showing up in your heart space. You see how this person is kind of like trying to maintain their composure, maintain their peace. They're kind of pushing away though from other people, like pushing away because they want to maintain a sense of control. And I got in the spiritual reading like this hard to get energy. So some of you are actually pushing this person away or this connection away, even though you feel it's a soulmate. Weird. But maybe you've got a lot on your plate right now, or maybe there's too many difficulties or barriers, or I don't know. I don't know why that would be. You would know, of course, because the Ten of Wands does talk about a struggle or really hard work. So it could be that this connection is just too much of a struggle, and so you do feel the connection, and maybe you're of two minds about it, but then you always kind of push away a little bit. But it could also be, I could also read this as like, no, I'm not going to say that. That's how I got it. Well, now I got to say it. I was going to say, I could read this as like trying to kind of push away, but at the same time going along with it anyways, you know. But I feel more so the way I read it the first time is what's going to resonate with the most of you. Let's see what's in this person's heart space. Page of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups. Ooh, too many. Two of Pentacles, Three of Wands. So this is interesting. In their heart, I feel like, you know, this is the card of innocence. It's also the card of childhood. They have two cards of childhood, so there could be children involved, and or you could have a past with this person or similar childhood, something of that nature. But the past is showing up here, and it's showing up twice. And then the Seven of Cups, which is kind of confusing energy. It is like not really knowing what the right thing to choose is and kind of going back and forth. But I feel ultimately this person is coming to a conclusion, because the Three of Wands is about moving forward and making choices. So quite literally, there could be something also like from this person's past that they need to clear out karmically or clear up before things can move forward. Yeah. There's also like an innocence showing up here. Yeah. There's also a message about mistakes from the past and, you know, needing to release that. I don't know if that's you or this person, but forgiveness is a powerful thing, whether it's yourself or another person. It's the only thing that releases you from bondage, you know, carrying around baggage, right? Anyways, let's go into the most likely outcomes as of now, which of course can be changed with free will. There's that Ten of Swords again. That's what showed up in the spiritual reading. Dang, death and rebirth. Okay. Eight of Cups. You're definitely clearing out the old and entering the new. And that's what showed up in your spiritual reading too, Gemini. So there is 100% chance of meatballs. I'm just kidding. Movie reference. It's a really cute movie, by the way. But anyways, there is a big chance that the air is going to be cleared, or that there's some sort of karmic rebalancing happening, because both of these cards talk about clearing out the old and bringing in the new. It talks about rebirth. It talks about changes. The Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you. And then freaking catapulting into your next chapter. Like the Chariot is the fastest moving energy in the tarot. So it's not like this long, drawn out, slow change. It's like almost like an overnight thing. Maybe not that fast, but it may feel that way, where it's just like, yeah, and on to the next, and boom, you're like you're in your next chapter, or something changes in a situation and it almost feels like it's overnight, you know. And some of you, yes, quite literally overnight, but not all of you. It just may feel like things move really, really fast. But again, this is in a positive way. And I felt that in the spiritual reading too, that Spirit wants you to be open-minded, right, to how this plays out and what changes occur over these next, you know, few weeks, few months, etc. So let's see, what does their person, Knight of Swords, Ace of Wands, Two of Swords, the Chariot. Why did I say it like that? The Chariot. Okay, the first phrase I got when I saw this card combination was somebody's finally pulling their head out of their ass. Forgive my language, but tell me why I got that from this. It's go time, right? The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. It talks about communication, you know, electronic communication, digital communication, information coming in fast, especially with the Ace of Wands, which is, you know, passion. It is motivation. It is right in your face, right? The Two of Swords in the reverse is coming out of a stalemate, coming out of confusion. So I guess you could see now why I feel like this person is like finally pulling their head out of their ass. I'm just saying. I mean that in the most loving way. Like, I feel like an epiphany here, like something that was clouding the connection or blocking the connection is making sense to this person. And then they're back kind of in the driver's seat and making decisions and then taking action. Both of you land on the Chariot, which is fast progression forward. So I feel like things moving kind of at lightning speed, at least on the spiritual energetic wavelength. How that plays out into your manifested reality, I think will be different for everybody, but you can expect change and you can expect progression for certain. So let's see what the guidance has to say then. Card number 41, making peace with my today will improve my future. It may sound odd, but the fastest way to get to a new and improved situation is to make peace with your current situation by making lists of the most positive aspects that you can find about your current situation. You then release your resistance to the improvements that are waiting for you. But if you rail against the injustices of your current situation, you will hold yourself in a vibrational alignment with what you do not want. And you cannot then move in the direction of the improvement. It will defy law. That is sound advice, especially given this reading. My goodness. Woo! Gemini, I love this for you. Zodiac signs you may be connecting with and or having your own chart. I have Cancerian energy. I have Libra, Aries, Pisces. Cancerian energy, Scorpio energy, Aries again, Libra, and Piscean energy, Leo energy. Those are the, and Taurus. Those are the prominent signs I'm seeing, but it is a general. So, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Keep in mind, it's a general reading. I don't know why I said that. Don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future content, if I can talk. make sure you hit that subscription button. And also check me out on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I do go live over there as well. Also, I'm in the Fab Over 40 contest, yay, because I am 40 and I do feel fabulous. And because of you guys, I am almost to the top 10. Yay! So I think there's only like one round or maybe 2 rounds after this one. So if you could click on the link in my community section, and or you can find it on my Facebook and vote for me. You can vote daily for free. And you can pay for votes, but do not pay for votes. It's just not that serious. Keep your money. But I would appreciate your free vote if you have the time and you have the chance. Either way, wishing you the very best, Gemini. And until next time, my friends, namaste.